And welcome back to the set of Harvest. You know, Hannah Kerr has been singing in public since the age of 5. I can't remember what I was doing when I was 5, but when her father himself, a worship leader, brought her to the front of the church to sing. Fast forward, and today the singer is leaving her mark on the world with a new CD that brags about the love and grace of God. Welcome to the Harvest Show, Hannah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, 5 years old.
Yeah.
Were you just fierce or afraid? Which one?
I mean, I was a shy kid, so I really was kind of afraid, but it felt normal because my dad was up there with me, and it was kind of a family thing that we did together. So I just grew up singing in church. I just loved doing that, and so it kind of was a natural progression of my life to now be a singer now.
Fast forward to today, and I hear names like Casting Crowns and what are some of the, oh, by the way, this is my colleague, Corey Mann. He's the director of Pulse FM radio station, and I asked him to come on with me as we talk with Hannah. Kind of share your backstory with us.
Yeah, so I, at the age of 5, started singing at church. My parents were worship leaders my whole life, and so I really grew up in the church. I grew up loving Christian music and Christian radio, and so that's really where I first fell in love with the Lord, is just through worship music. And so I started singing in church, and then we moved to Nashville when I was 14. And that move was kind of what changed everything for me. It really brought me out of my comfort zone. I kind of had to be not shy anymore. I had to be who I was. And so I started singing at church on my own without my dad there. And I started stepping outside my comfort zone in that way. And so I made an album. Now I'm working with awesome people that I love and people that I've looked up to my whole life. So it's been really cool, and all the glory to the Lord for everything that's been happening. I just am so grateful. It's been so fun.
Your first concert, your first big going to a show with your parents, you're 6 years old, and who was it?
Casting Crowns.
Great, huge band at the time.
Yeah.
They're kind of, I think probably about the time they're starting off, and they're doing amazing things. Fast forward to, you took some time off of college, a whole semester to go tour with
Casting Crowns. I know.
How about that?
It's crazy.
And
it's
you're at the beginning of your career, and you're singing in front of 7,000-8,000 people every night.
It's crazy.
A band that you saw when you were 6.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was incredible. Every night I just felt like I would step on stage and have to pinch myself and ask, is this really happening? Is this really what my life is right now? I was just so grateful every night. There was not a single concert that went by that I took it for granted. I knew that I'm a new artist, and really, I don't deserve that platform yet, but for some reason, the Lord has given it to me. And so it was so cool. It really was. I just soaked it all in for the 40 shows that we had together. It was so great.
40 shows. You know, Hannah, just like you said, you felt like you did not deserve that platform. There are people who get to that platform through a lot of hurt, pain, and tears. Where do the lyrics come for you?
The lyrics always come from the inspiration of God for me. I never am just writing things that I just feel. I always want to write things that are true, things that are backed by Scripture. I always want to start off with either a verse that I've been reading, or whether it's God revealing it through prayer that way too. I just always wanted it to be grounded in Scripture and grounded in what God actually says, not just how I'm feeling at that moment. So really just inspiration comes hopefully from God himself, and that's just so cool to me that the creator of the universe would provide inspiration for us to share with others, and a message that hopefully inspires them and empowers them.
So your project is called Overflow.
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
So when I was praying through my album and just really asking God, what is it that you want me to say? You know, I'm 20, it's not that I have all the wisdom in the world, but just show me what you want me to say. Show me how you want me to be as an artist. And I just really felt like God was saying, Hannah, if you ask me for wisdom, I give that freely to all who ask. And so I just kept asking God to pour into me, so much so that God doesn't just fill us up till we're full. He fills us up so that we overflow into the lives of all the people that we come into contact with. And so all these songs to me really are just, Lord, pour into me your grace and your peace and your truth so that I can pour that into all the people that will listen to the music that I've created. And so, yeah, that's just my prayer for the album, just that all the things that God has taught me would overflow into the lives of others.
Let's talk about Warrior, Undivided, some of the cuts on the piece.
Sure. So Warrior is the first song on the album, and I really wanted it to be first because I wanted that to be the first thing people heard from me. Warrior is a song of empowerment. It kind of says, you know, I'm staring down the face of fear, but I know that I have to just keep going. I know that I can keep the hope alive if I look to the Lord in times of trouble. And so I wanted that to be a song of encouragement and empowerment, because we all go through hard times. We all go through times when we think, I can't go on, that's it. But the Lord promises that he'll be with us when we fight through things like that. And so that was really my prayer, was just warrior first. I want people to be encouraged. There's other songs in there like Radiate. It's a really fun, upbeat song, just kind of talking about how God can make beauty out of ashes. He can make a future out of a past that may seem like it can't be redeemed. The Lord's light is greater than all darkness. And so Radiate's just, you know, a testament of God's glory, a testament of how, you know, we may not be perfect people, but the Lord is perfect, and he can use all things for his glory. And so I love those two songs. If you're going to listen to two, I would listen to those.
When you're on the road with a Mark Hall from Casting Crowns, who's been doing this for a while, or you're in a writing room with a Matt Maher, hopefully they're pouring wisdom into you.
Yeah.
Do you remember something specific that Mark told you while you guys were on the road that kind of poured into you, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to remember that for a long time?
Yeah, so Mark Hall is kind of one of those people. He's a youth pastor, and so you know, his main thing is, I want to show you what it looks like to be, you know, XYZ. And so instead of really telling me a lot of things, I would just watch his behavior. I would just watch how he treated people. And the cool thing about Mark is that he never walks by someone without investing in them. Whether it's a security guard or a merch volunteer or a snack shop person, he walks by, he says, hi, I'm Mark, what's your name, what's your story?
Wow.
And he always invests in them. And that was something that I'll never forget, because it can be easy to get in a routine and just say, okay, I'm on stage tonight, that's what I'm doing, I'm singing. But it's so much greater than just singing. Christian music is so much greater than just music. And Mark really has that in perspective. He really understands, like, this is a ministry. All that we're doing today, from the time we get off the bus to the time we get back on again, it's a ministry. And so he really brings church on the road in that way. He's just so welcoming, he's so loving, just really invests in people. So that's something that I want to do for sure.
Well, Hannah, thanks for stopping by and sharing your music with us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
Okay, to connect with Hannah, go to hannahkerrmusic.com, or the Harvest Show Facebook page, or harvest-tv.com for a link to her new project. It's called Overflow. Harvest continues in just a moment.